Welcome to this northern Wisconsin turkey hunt, everyone. It's a little bit of background on this hunt. Now, Jake's been wanting a headshot with a bow on a bird for a few years now, and last year he missed the opportunity, so he was looking for some redemption. So he scouted and roosted this bird the night before. Him and Alex went in the next morning. They hauled in basically as much as two guys could handle. They had the blind, decoys, shotgun, bow, camera equipment, 2 chairs, everything they needed for this hunt. So they set up in a fairly close proximity to this bird, basically within 100 yards. And they got the decoy set, the blind set, and they just basically got to hunting because they didn't want any light from the camera, filming intros, and as limited amount of noise as possible. So that's why we're jumping right into the action. Check it out.
I've never been so shaken up as a cameraman in my life. Oh, that was insane. I didn't know if he was gonna come in. We got Ben's over here, man, and we couldn't do an interview in the beginning because we were so close to these birds. We had to set up a blind, set up the decoys, and there's still one hen still roosted. The other ones are about 40 yards away, and shot his head right off. How far was the shot? That's 5 yards max. That's about the closest I ever put my decoys before, but it worked. He doesn't have a head. I can see that. My goodness. That was by far the best hunt I think I've ever been on. Finally got the old broadhead headshot for once. Last year we missed. I was stuck on getting it done this year, and the last 2 days have been tough for me. I could have shot 4 birds with my gun.
Well, the other thing this morning was not going good, to put it PG.
It was dead calm and the moon was out, so our shadows were casted. This bird only roosted 100 yards away, if that, maybe about 80.
Yep.
So we're sneaking along, trying to set this tent up and everything.
Yeah, pop-up blind is not quiet, obviously. The hubs one, snapping the hubs, you know, pop.
Not ideal for getting in close quarters, but we made it happen.
Had to pull the blind over top of us like a hat because we don't want to use the zipper to come through the door. And then we're sitting here.
Wind picks up and almost tips it completely over.
Yeah, right at first light, so you can see everything clear as day.
He was already gobbling.
The blind bowl's tight to our knees. So then we're trying to shove it back out a little bit so we actually have room for an arrow and a camera and stuff. And then he hung up there for a long time.
Yeah, they didn't really want to come down. I don't know if it was because of the wind or if they kind of knew something was up, but once he got down and...
Well, he flew to not to a great spot.
No, I thought he was going to go completely the opposite direction because I thought he had us busted, but once those hens came down, he settled down, was heading towards them, and he saw this Jake and he wanted to beat him up. He thought he had one of his hens, so...
Yeah, because we had a hen way to our right and he was on our left and our decoys were sitting in the middle. So he worked his way, and then once he got close enough, he started posturing and strutting, and
yeah,
he was not having it.
Nope.
And he ain't having it anymore either.
Nope. Put this thing to bed last night. He was strutting out here till basically sundown. He was still gobbling at 8:30 at night up in the tree, and made it happen. I can go take a look at him now.
Oh man.
All right, well here it is.
You did it.
Finally, took 2 years dedication, but last year I whiffed.
Yeah.
But followed up with the shotgun. This year, didn't need a follow-up. She dropped right there and it was out.
And it's all on film.
Yeah, got it great on film.
Same setup. Well, no, we got the lay down this year.
Yeah, been using that lay down that we got this spring,
And we just put the Jake tight behind it.
yep, like it's on top breeding, and
They don't like that.
no, especially when he has his hens. He had his 2 hens up in the trees with him, and they weren't quite out yet. And he saw that Jake, and it was game over for him.
That is just a clean kill like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's done.
That's how you butcher chickens. I mean, it's the cleanest way. I mean, that's...
Yeah, this broadhead is it's a Magnus bullhead. It's 125 grain, so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but you just gotta shoot and sight in your bow for that extra grainage and longer arrow too. I was confident to about 10 yards.
Yeah, shooting at a
When we were
pillowcase.
shooting at a pillow.
Or a pillow. Yep, pillow.
And I just grabbed my older bow because I wanted to drop the poundage. It makes it a little bit more accurate. And I haven't shot anything with this bow for probably 10 years, so.
I'm probably the last one to shoot something with it.
Yep. So it's cool bringing that back and getting it done with the bow. This thing has some awesome spurs. I mean,
Yeah, let's check that out. I mean, that's...
these are probably one of the biggest spurs, at least second, that I've shot, so. Yeah, his beard's a little thin. I don't know if I chopped some of that off or if that's just from winter, but he's probably got a 10-inch beard or so, maybe 10 and a half. Just a nice bird. Well, we got Joe, get him a bird this weekend here, and we got Ross coming up next week, and Alex has another tag for the week after that. So we got a lot more to do. Let's see where we go.